Hello everyone, just a slight disclaimer as always before watching this video. This video is based off the Murder Drone series, concept art, and a handful of tweets, so the majority of this is just pure speculation, so take this video with a grain of salt. And if you want to help support my channel, remember to like and subscribe. It's been a while, hasn't it? Murder Drones has a unique plot, and if you watch the series as many times as I have, it has a straightforward story. But what if I told you the story we were watching today wasn't the story that was supposed to be told? I'm not talking about original story scripts, I'm talking about a whole new layer of Murder Drone lore, but it hasn't been touched until now. Before I continue, I do need to mention this. This is my own personal take on Film Theory's mediocre theory on murder drones. These are bold words coming from someone who doesn't have a good upload schedule, but there are some things wrong with MatPat's theory that I feel need to be mentioned. You've probably seen it, but just to recap, he believes that this visual gag has been used beat for beat to tell the story of murder drones. I don't necessarily agree, and here are a few reasons why. To start off, I can see where MatPat believed N would meet this supernatural aid requirement, but I believe the absolute solver would have a much better match. Secondly, I love Tessa. You love Tessa. We all love Tessa. But she is not the mentor type.
Human-made security this experiment can control. Maybe.
Finally, Tessa only tagged along with the game in episode 6. Some misinformation that flew over MatPat's head. No, I'm not counting episode 5, that was a flashback episode. There is one thing I can agree on, and that's that this protag's journey was made for Uzi, probably because she made it. It's her presentation after all.
Hide under the ice behind 3 stupid doors? It's like we're waiting for an inciting incident!
I do agree with MatPat, though, when he says that this protag's journey spoof could be related to the plot of Murder Drones, but not in the way you might think. For these next few segments, we need to look at the Murder Drone story a bit differently. Imagine Copper 9 as a stage, Uzi our main character, and our main villain, and finally at the helm of it all, Sin, or the Absolute Solver, as our puppeteer. Last video, I went over Nori, her purpose, why she couldn't have been killed, and how her death was plausibly staged. Though if she wasn't meant to be killed off, then why was she removed? Well, I believe it's because for Sin's plans to work, the impact of a death of a loved one needs to be present. And this impact is greatly seen in Uzi. Up until episode 3, most of Uzi's motivation for anything she did in the show was to avenge her dead mother. Fighting the Murder Drones, going to Earth to kill all the humans. Look at it like this. Faking her mom's death gave Uzi both a goal and a motive. While avenging her mother was Uzi's goal, this goal shifted after episode 3, when she was left with more questions than answers. But what is this hidden story? What was supposed to happen? In my opinion, everything happened accordingly, up until this moment.
Did you just slap me with that arm?
Holy crap, it talks.
I don't believe Uzi was supposed to meet N, and the reason why is simple. This story always felt like it was going to be Worker Drone versus Murder Drone, especially from the trailer. Let alone, Sin sets the stage for Uzi, wanting to avenge her dead mother, to fight N, the Murder Drone who presumably killed her mother. But thanks to N improperly rebooting, this entire story was derailed. Even when Sin tried to intervene without damaging her play, the whole thing was collapsing right before her eyes. Some aspects of Sin's little play here, however, managed to stay intact, and one of those was Uzi's unforeseen ally, Doll. Doll, despite being an afterthought, has plenty of importance in the Murder Drone series, but one of my previous predictions was that Doll would have been this mentor, or someone who could have helped Uzi harness her newfound abilities. I do believe that there is plenty of evidence to suggest that Doll could have been this mentor or ally. The two have a lot in common. Both lost their families to a Murder Drone, both of their mothers were carriers, both inherited the Absolute Solver, and both wanted to avenge their dead families. While Uzi struggles to put her foot on her new abilities, Doll controls hers with ease. I believe there is a reason for this though, and that's because Doll hasn't ditched the script like Uzi has. Again, the Absolute Solver has a mind of its own, and it allows Nori and Yeva to escape for a reason. When we truly ponder that idea, it makes sense why the Absolute Solver works more towards Doll's favor and not Uzi's. You don't have control over the Absolute Solver. The Absolute Solver has control over you. Uzi is trying to work against the Absolute Solver to stop it, so there's a reason why despite this practice Uzi puts in to control it, it still has her under its foot. Compared to Doll, she's been unaffected. In fact, she is the only thing the Absolute Solver hasn't lost yet. Sometimes, to match this theme of a specific episode, we see characters change clothes, such as suits and dresses for prom or t-shirts for summer camp. You can probably see where I'm going with this. When Doll came back in episode 5, she returned with this mysterious eye patch, which has never been explained. I believe this is Doll hiding Sin's control over her, as a way not to draw suspicion to herself. After all, Tessa had experience with Sin, so it'd be fairly obvious for Tessa to sniff Sin out. This allowed Doll to intercept the key bug, enter Cabin Fever Labs, and drag the rest of the game back to the stage. I mean, Uzi and V had no reason to go into Cabin Fever Labs until Doll came barging in. Let alone, has anyone really asked why Doll has this guilty subconscious? Like she knows what she's doing is bad, but continues to do it anyways?
Ты воспитал хорошую дочь, мистер Дорман.
This theory is admittedly a bit of a doozy, and if you stuck around to the end, remember to leave a comment and type in the secret word of this week's theory to get a shout out. I also do apologize for my absence. I got a bit of a buzzkill and motivation has been a problem. But hey, I'm back. So today's secret word is #WeFixedYourTheory. Now for the shoutouts. Shout out to Mark Gaming 1752 and DZP 3789. Remember to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Thank you again.